Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2021 Volunteer Awards. This is our opportunity to thank all of the amazing volunteers at the Bruce Trail Conservancy. We wish we could be together with you, so we're doing it virtually again this year. And I want to thank Jackie Randall, Elizabeth Harrington, and Megan Kroll, the BTC staffers, who have been coming around to visit all the volunteers, take the great pictures, and put this presentation together. I want to start again with a big thank you to all of the volunteers, a heartfelt thank you for all of the work that you do. We have over 1,400 volunteers at the BTC, and every single one of you make an incredible difference to our mission. I also want to thank you for sticking with us through COVID-19. I know that this year presented a lot of unique challenges for our volunteers and along the trail, but together we worked through them, and we're really excited and grateful for your volunteerism. Lastly, this is our opportunity as an organization to thank you for your contributions to our mission. And really, that's through the donation of your time. And there's nothing more precious than you can give. So thanks to every single one of you, a heartfelt thank you for all that you do to make the BTC so great. And thank you on behalf of myself, the board, the BTC staff, and all 13,000 members. You're making a big difference for the Bruce Trail Conservancy. We're going to start off today with the Years of Volunteering Awards, and these are awards that recognize volunteers that have served the Bruce Trail Conservancy roles, such as support in the head office, assisting with events, and also working on committees and the board. And our first recipient with 10 years of volunteering is Marlise Butcher. Marlise has served on the board for quite a few terms. She's stepping down this year, but she's been on so many committees. She's been on the TDM committee. Marlise was also the trail director for the Toronto Club, just a talented and dedicated volunteer. So Marlise, on behalf of myself and the membership, congratulations on your award, 10 years of volunteering, and thanks for all you do. And I also know that you're continuing to volunteer, so thanks for keeping on going. Thanks a lot. Congratulations, Marlise. Our next volunteer award is to Darcy Lombard. So Darcy, congratulations. Darcy's also been working on the Landowner Relations Committee for the BTC, and again is receiving the 10 years of volunteering award. Darcy is really great at relationships and has been working hard on landowner relationships, which are so important to our mission. So congratulations, Darcy, and thanks for all you've done for the BTC. Our next recipient is Paul Toffoletti. Paul was on the BTC board in various committees. He's been on the Land Acquisition Committee. Paul is also our dedicated representative for the Coots to Escarpment Eco Park and does tremendous work there on behalf of the BTC. And many of you may also know Paul as the president of the Iroquois Bruce Trail Club. So congratulations, Paul, 10 years of volunteering, and thanks for all you've done for our mission. Thank you. The next award I'd like to present is the Honorary Membership Award. The Bruce Trail Conservancy Honorary Membership is a prestigious award given to a member who's made a lasting, significant volunteer contribution to the organization at both the Bruce Trail Club and the Bruce Trail Conservancy levels. And I'm pleased to announce that this year's recipient is David Tyson. David's been a BTC supporter for over 40 years as a member and a volunteer with the Bruce Trail Conservancy and the Toronto Club. And he's being honored today for all of his contributions and dedication to the BTC. In particular, David did some fantastic work and wrote the book Trail to the Bruce, which documents the history of the Bruce Trail. So thank you, David, for your amazing contributions, and congratulations on your award. The next award is the Calypso Orchid Environmental Award. And these recipients have demonstrated a significant contribution to the restoration and preservation of the Bruce Trail or the Niagara Escarpment biosphere, or they've significantly enhanced the education of users or potential users around our mission and the trail. And I'm very pleased to announce that this year's recipient is David Knox. David Knox passed away this past year, and the Bruce Trail Conservancy lost a great friend and supporter when he did pass. Dave was the land stewardship director for the Blue Mountains Club for over 20 years. The Blue Mountains Bruce Trail Club facilitated a ceremony with Dave's wife, Kathy, and his daughter, Amanda, to accept the award on his behalf. We have a small clip to share with you now. Thank you.
Dave was a dedicated and outstanding volunteer for several decades. His expertise in the geology and natural environment was invaluable to our volunteers as they worked on restoration and maintenance of our section. All his efforts brought many BMBTC volunteers together on stewardship properties and work projects to preserve our 67.3 kilometers of main trail and 30 kilometers of blue trails over the last 20 years. His commitment over several decades, his enthusiasm and love of nature greatly benefited the Bruce Trail Conservancy and the Blue Mountains section. His commitment to land stewardship of the Bruce Trail was exceptional. Sadly, Dave died on June 23rd of this year, but he recorded 55 days of cross-country skiing at scenic caves this past winter. The board of directors and members of the Bruce Trail Blue Mountains Club believe Dave is an extremely worthy recipient of the Calypso Orchid Environmental Award for 2021.
The next award that I get to present is the Ross McLean Volunteer of the Year Award. This award was renamed last year in honor of Ross, and this award is given to an outstanding volunteer who has shown outstanding volunteer efforts during this past calendar year. And it's my great pleasure to announce this year's winner is Margaret Glendon. Marg Glendon is involved in many different initiatives within the Bruce Trail Peninsula Club and is an incredible advocate for membership and support of the Bruce Trail Conservancy. Marg regularly comes up with new ideas and takes the lead on projects to benefit the Peninsula section and the greater Bruce Trail Conservancy mission. She has taken great leadership this past year and is integral to the volunteer work in the Peninsula. I recently had the joy of watching Marg bake cookies on YouTube, and she's always finding new ways to connect people to our mission. Marg was honored at the Northern Cairn in a ceremony where Tamara Wilson, president of the Peninsula Bruce Trail Club, shared some thoughts. Let's watch that clip together.
So Marg's first trip to the Peninsula and Tobermory was 50 years ago on a first date with her husband, Owen. Since then, Marg's story with the Peninsula has been one of love. Love for her family, love for her community, love for the Bruce Trail, and very luckily for us, love for the Peninsula Bruce Trail Club and its outreach and new members program. Marg's initiative over the last year has included orchestrating history hikes, owl hikes, new member hikes, taking the lead on grant applications and all of the associated follow-up, spearheading fundraisers such as the Peninsula Bruce Trail Club used glass Christmas ornaments, which sold out last year, and for sure will be a big hit this year as well. Leading highly successful enviro hikes and trash talk cafes, which I might add garnered significant praise on social media hiking sites, proclaiming the Peninsula section the most litter-free section of all the Bruce Trail from Niagara on up. Wow. The more you work with Marg, the more you realize that all of these wonderful initiatives are just the tip of the iceberg. Marg at any one time has at least 8 other projects in the wings. Marg's efforts have not only impacted the health of the trail, hiker experience, but also our club's membership numbers. Membership outreach has played a direct role in the Peninsula Club's membership growing over 28% in the last year to top over 1,000 members. This is a remarkable increase for our little local club. Marg's love and significant efforts manifest good things for the Peninsula Bruce Trail and our connections with the community. Very fittingly, this year Marg is being recognized by the Bruce Trail Conservancy with the Ross McLean Volunteer of the Year Award. This award is given to one special individual from a list of nominees across all of the Bruce Trail clubs from Queenston, Niagara to Tobermory. Ross McLean was an extraordinary volunteer who also loved the Bruce Trail and through his unwavering efforts helped to make the trail the world-class footpath that it is today. The Ross McLean Volunteer of the Year Award recognizes a volunteer who has shown extraordinary contribution to the Bruce Trail Conservancy within a single year. Mark, your club is very proud of you. We are very appreciative of all that you do. You are so very deserving of the Ross McLean Volunteer of the Year Award and of the special recognition that goes with it. Congratulations, Mark.
The next section of our awards are the Trail Development and Maintenance Awards, and it's my great pleasure to turn this presentation over to Dave Moule, who's the chair of the TD&M committee. Dave, over to you.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to be here today to present the Trail Development and Maintenance Awards for this year. Now, as you know, much of the past year has been spent under various forms of restrictions on travel and group activities due to COVID-19. And therefore, it was difficult to get out and do any trail work. But in spite of this, our trail was kept in good condition. And to me, a surprising number of trail development projects were done. Because of the restrictions on activities, clubs were given one additional month until the end of July to complete their projects. Now this year, no projects were submitted for the Philip and Jean Gosling Award, so it will not be awarded. But we do have several really nice trail improvements in the running for the Tom East. Your committee for judges this year consisted of Heather Murch, the trail director of the Caledon Hills Club, Andrew Costley, a former trail director of the Iroquois Club, and myself, the BTC trail director. So for the Tom East this year, we had submissions from 5 clubs that spanned the entire length of the trail from Niagara all the way up to Peninsula. Niagara submitted a collection of 3 projects, Dufferin Highlands, a collection of 2 projects, Blue Mountains, 1 new main trail and a reconfigured side trail, Beaver Valley, new main trail at the East Mountain, and Peninsula, new main trail and reconfigured side trail at Cape Chin. I'm going to start from the south and we'll head north from there. So the Niagara Club started out with a new side trail right at Queenston, and this is called Alfred's Trot Side Trail. It's named after General Brock's horse. It's 1.5 kilometers in length and creates 2.8 kilometers of loop right near the beginning of our trail. So the marking and signage on the trail was well done. Here's a typical example in the left photo of what the trail looks like. But what I really want to focus on today is the trees. This trail gives hikers access to some of the most spectacular trees you're going to see anywhere along the trail. Niagara is well known for its great hardwood trees, particularly the nut trees, black walnuts, black oaks, hickories. And the 2 photos in this slide are actually one tree. The photo on the left is the base of the tree. The photo on the right goes up and shows the crown. This is a spectacular tree, and there were a lot of them just like this along this piece of trail. Moving along a little further to the north on the Niagara Trail, 2 different sets of changes at Woodend. First of all, on the left map, we see a new section of main trail that removed a fair section of trail from Warner Road. And then on the right, some additional side trail. So the new main trail limits 590 meters of trail on the road. The old main trail has been renamed in honor of Margaret Caligulaparis and creates a nice loop. And then the Wetland Ridge side trail was extended and connected to the main trail to create another loop. Here's the access from Warner Road and the beginning of the Wetland Ridge side trail. And 2 typical shots of the trail, one in the bush and the other again across the open grassland on the BTC secured property. A third area where Niagara worked this year, Mountain View Conservation Area. Here they built some new trail along the base of the escarpment and also some new trail on the top. Then they moved the main trail from the top to the bottom in order to provide better views of the escarpment features and a better ascent up the escarpment. And in the process, they created a new side trail called the Beamsville Bench Side Trail. Some new trail on top is on the optimum route. An old main trail on the top becomes the Mountain View Side Trail. So this is a little bit complicated, but it's well marked in the field and it was well constructed. One small new bridge there. On the right photo, you see one of our judges, Andrew, squeezing between some big rocks on the new main trail. Typical shot of the trail there on the left and the signage on the right. Parts of this trail are quite rugged and challenging, so I think hikers are going to enjoy it. And in the right photo, you can see how from the new main trail, we have some great views up at the escarpment features above. Okay, moving north now to Dufferin Highlands. Two new trail sections were built. This map actually shows three, but the third one, the Pine River Valley Side Trail, was not completed in time to be eligible for the award. So that'll be considered next year. But we have the Kilgore Side Trail and a new short section of main trail under consideration for this year. So 310 meters of the Kilgore Side Trail were taken off the 15 side road and moved onto new BTC secured property. And 180 meters of main trail were removed from the 15 side road and also placed on new secured property. So here's the entrance to the Kilgore Side Trail. And in the right photo, a representative piece of the new side trail. And where the side trail leaves the 15 side road, well marked by a nice double blue blaze. And then here we have two photos of the new main trail. And you see our other judge, Heather Murch, standing at one spot in this nice hardwood bush. Now moving a little further north to the Blue Mountains section. An extensive reroute off of the 10th concession in Blue Mountains, and this is a welcome change. Also a couple of reconfigurations of side trails to accommodate this. The changes here are a little bit of a compromise, however, because we can only do this in the summer months. The new main trail passes through the middle of a cross-country ski area, and so it can't be there in the winter. So new main trail only for 6 months of the year, and it's closed for 6 months of the year, unfortunately. The old main trail along the 10th concession continues now as a side trail, which will be the winter detour. The Dumtroon View side trail disappears and becomes part of the main trail, and the Walker Aggregates side trail was modified. So here we are on new trail approaching the Walker Aggregates quarry, a nice set of steps built by the Blue Mountains Club, and then a piece of trail along the edge of the quarry with a brand new fence built by the BTC in order that we could have the trail in this location on Walker Aggregates property and have a view of the quarry operations to the right. Some representative views of the trails within the Highlands Nordic ski area. The one on the left, you see a typical cross-country ski trail about 20 feet wide, and our trail follows this. So the Blue Mountains Club had to be very careful to mark this well with good blazing because there's a network of other trails in the area. And the photo on the right shows a place where we're overlapping with existing snowshoe trail in the ski resort. Moving again north and west to the Beaver Valley, new main trail on the BTC's newly secured East Mountain property. So here we have 2 kilometers of main trail on optimum route. 1.7 kilometers of road walking was eliminated. And this trail traverses a variety of terrain, hardwood forest, open grassland, and a number of really nice escarpment features. And the club did a good job of taking the trail through the mature hardwood and passing by the escarpment features that were to be seen, and then coming out onto the open grassland where you can see that they've done a really nice job of mowing and maintaining this open grassland so it's easy for hikers to find their way and not get themselves engulfed in very tall grasses and weeds. Our final entry for the Tom East from the Peninsula Club, the new reroute at Cape Chin. You see the new main trail along the cliff edge at the north part of the property, and the dashed line indicating the Cape Chin Meadows side trail, which was the former main trail. So here we have 1.7 kilometers of new trail on the optimum route and along the cliff top. 625 meters of main trail were removed from the road. Former main trail converted to side trail. The new and old trail together form an 8.9 kilometer loop. And of course, we have the spectacular views over Georgian Bay. So here's the beginning of the new side trail, former main trail. And then main trail, well marked along the driveway that approaches the cliff top near the old house on the cliff top. Again, the driveway being used as a final approach to the cliff top view, and the now famous overhanging point with the view over Georgian Bay. More views over Georgian Bay, and a representative section of trail along the cliff edge. And then as the trail moves away from the cliff top, we have an open grassland clearing, which we follow. So now, time for the winner. And the winner is the Beaver Valley Club for its reroute at East Mountain. I'll review 2 kilometers of new trail on optimum route, 1.7 kilometers of trail removed from road. And this was a really excellent example of intelligent, thoughtful trail design, illustrating all of the interesting features on the property. And the quality of construction and maintenance were top-notch. So congratulations to the Beaver Valley Club. Now, moving on to the Susan Oleskovich Award. We had 3 nominees this year: Carl Alexander from Dufferin Highlands, Terry Calder from Iroquois, and Dave Knox from Blue Mountains. And as usual, all 3 were very well qualified and worthy of recognition for their dedication and their long service. So it was a tough decision once again, but the judges eventually determined that the winner would be Carl Alexander from Dufferin Highlands. So congratulations to Carl. And that completes my portion of tonight's or this afternoon's presentation. Thank you, and I'll turn it over to our chair.